In this video, we're going to cover 3 common problems that beginners have with Nightclub Two Step. What's up, gang? It's Brian B.
And Miss Megan.
From Social Dance Online and CountryDanceOnline.com. You can visit those websites. Anyways, today we're here to talk about 3 common problems that we see beginners make with Nightclub Two Step. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, gang, so the 3 problems that we see, number 1 is going to be around our timing and the basic. Number 2 is going to be around the connections that we use. And number 3 is going to be our positioning in Nightclub Two Step. So let's first talk about the basic footwork and the timing and the struggles that we have. So I'm going to go leaders back to the camera, but Megan will chime in here. So we know that in the basic that we have a big slow step for our slow. Then we're going to close our feet for quick. We're going to move across for quick, and we're going to move across for slow. So there's a couple of problems that happen here. Number 1, in our common problem, and this is all going to relate, the timing and the footwork, it's all going to be kind of a soup that one might work off the other. The first thing we see is people are not closing their feet, right? So I need to close my instep of my right foot to the heel of my left foot, right? So that leaves some room for this to step across. So as we move across, I need to close my feet. So I imagine just sucking my thighs together and pulling the instep to the heel. So when I close, everything's nice and tight. As we move across for quick, slow, we close, move, and slow, close, move, and slow, right? So to improve our timing and our basic, number 1, we have to make sure we close our feet. Number 2, we have to understand that the slow is slow. It takes twice as long as a quick. So when we make this step, if I stepped with 2 straight legs, it's not going to be a very big step. That might actually be more like a rumba step, right? But in Nightclub, I'm going to move. So what I want to do is I want to imagine I'm 5'9". I want to imagine that I'm 5'8" when I dance this dance, right? So I have a little flex in this foot. So I'm going to use this foot to push myself across. Now, as I push myself across, I'm going to push for half the step, and the remaining half of the step, I'm going to pull. Now, that might sound a little technical for a beginner, but this is a good time to understand this. So every step has half of a push and half of a pull, right? So if we think that this right leg with a little bit of flex has plenty of push in it. So I almost don't want you to focus so much on the push. That's going to take care of itself. I want you to delay the pull. So that's going to slow down your flows, right? So that's kind of 1. And then 1A is making sure I close my feet so I can move this back across. Now, Megan, do you have anything specifically that you think about in terms of timing, footwork?
Just that, and I don't know if this is the best angle, but actually this is probably the best angle. Just that when you are closing your feet, you don't have to move this foot on that same track. It's 2 different tracks. So when you close your back foot, the front foot is still going to be on its own track in front of it.
Cool. So that's going to help us stay on time, right? I want to practice this. We practice this with our students all the time. In front of the mirror is a great one. We play music slow. Quick and slow, quick and slow, quick and slow. Cool? So closed feet, long, slow steps is going to help you stay on time, and that's going to help match our timing together. So speaking of together, common problem number 2 is connection is often not talked about in Nightclub Two Step, but in any partner dance, I have to use some sort of connection to communicate to my partner where they're going, right? There are 2 basic kinds of connections. There's really 3 that we use, but we're going to talk about 2. And if you dance West Coast swing, you know this really well. We have some sort of an away connection where our centers are moving away from one another. And then we have some sort of towards connection where our centers are moving towards. Now in Nightclub, we almost exclusively dance in that away connection. So we're going to set that up. So this is common problem number 2. Even in closed position, we're moving our centers away. Click, our weight is moving from the ball of the foot into the middle of the foot, and we have connection away. So even if we transferred to a hand, it's the same thing. We're moving our centers away. Now, there's a neat spot in our Nightclub Two Step Basic that I can really feel this increase, and when I feel that increase, I'm just going to maintain it. And that's going to be on the slow, I might not get a lot, although if I'm doing well, I can already connect myself away. We're using a slight flare to the elbow, and we have a slight away connection in both hands in this case. But as I hit my slow, when I make my quick, my right foot is moving slightly away from Megan, and Megan's is moving slightly away from mine. That tends to increase our connection. So if you dance a West Coast swing, I always imagine this as like the anchor step position. right? And once I have this, I can maintain this away connection, right? And I can use it to lead all of my patterns, right? So right off the bat, I want you guys having a good habit of maintaining that away connection. Number one, right as you take someone's hand, that's a good rule in dancing. I don't take someone's hand without intent. I take my partner's hand with maybe an away connection. If this might be cha-cha, I may take the intent of a forward connection. So I always am choosing, am I forward or away? And then I'm gonna maintain that, cool? So that's point number two. Number three is kind of a combination of everything, and that's our closed position. So to redefine our closed position, Megan is faced over my right shoulder, I'm faced over her right shoulder, right? And I can maintain this both with my positioning through my footwork, right? I'm just gonna make sure that my footwork doesn't take me out of this window, right? I don't wanna take my footwork to allow me to come out of that window. From the leader standpoint, I'm gonna pay attention to where my shoulders are going, because that's gonna start to initiate my lead, and it's gonna start to initiate where the follower is going. Miss Megan's gonna more follow that position. So let's talk about what you think about from the follower's perspective and maintaining this closed position.
So if you thought of kind of a flashlight from your partner in your own chest, anytime that flashlight moves, you want to keep each other kind of illuminated by that ray of light that's coming out. So as your partner moves, you want to stay moving in a parallel-ish sense with your partner, which is going to keep you in your own window.
So a good way to practice this is practicing your footwork. So we're going to eliminate the connection part of it, and we're just going to use our footwork to react. So I should be able to dance my basic patterns by rotating my upper body, right? Just literally where I go, Megan is staying in her window. So I have to use my footwork, understand my basic footwork. I have to understand the positioning of my body, and then my partner has to maintain that closed position, because all of these basic moves that we teach, even if it includes a turn, right? It includes a rotation of my shoulders, and Megan stays in this position. She can feel through the rotation. So make sure you practice your basic footwork, closing your feet, taking a nice big long slow step so you can maintain your timing, taking your partner's hand with intent, typically staying in an away connection in Nightclub Two Step. Most of this stuff we dance is going to have some sort of an away connection. Even as Megan's moving away, I'm not driving her away, she's staying in this away connection. And then again, she landed on the correct side because she's always in her window. So those are three common mistakes in Nightclub Two Step. Hopefully that was helpful. Now, if you want to learn more Nightclub Two Step patterns, you can do that right here. If you want to master your other dances, visit our website, socialdanceonline.com. You can access that down here in the corner, enter your email address on the first page, and we'll give you a free membership with 50 free videos.